Welcome everybody, I'm Admiredplague, and today I'll be teaching you guys about my top 5 areas to train zombies in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So strap in, let's get it going. Coming at number 5 is going to be my least favorite spot to train, which is going to be the church parking lot. As you can see here, highlighted in purple, it is just outside the church right next to the graveyard. I typically don't like this spot later on in the game simply because there are so many cars in the way. Unless you actually destroy these cars early on, the manglers will make them a problem for you later. Early on waves, like wave 1 through 15, not terrible. It's actually quite nice to effectively just go through and farm as quickly as possible. There are plenty of zombie spawn locations here. You do have like the little planter up top, you do have the graveyard spawns, you have stuff that comes, you have zombies that come from the barricade behind you, the church door, and a couple other locations. The biggest issue with this on the higher waves, though, just kind of comes down to the amount of zombies that are in here. As you can see right here, a lot more zombies. I'm actually going to use the car to my advantage rather than a mangler do it for me. But I'm actually going to blow up the cars here and actually kill a lot of the things. But as you can see, there's a lot of cars. There's at least 8 different cars in this parking lot. Each one of them is explodable, and one stray mangler cannon can really throw you off your groove here. So this is number 5 out of my top 5. Not really the best. Also, if you are backpedaling, you could end up in the small street down below and run your train into someone else's train, which is no good for anybody. The only good thing about this is you do have the ammo crate there, and you do have the pack-a-punch right next to you. However, at higher waves, this becomes an issue because as your friends are trying to move to the church, if they decide to do it in wave versus out of wave, they will bring their train to you because they have to cross your path to get to the church for the pack-a-punch. Coming at number 4 is going to be the small side street. This is going to be the street that leads up to the church parking lot. This does have a couple of kind of hectic locations, but if you sit here by the bus, what I like to do is if you sit by the front half of the bus when you're waiting for the zombie waves to kind of come in, they'll actually go to the front of the bus and move around the corner, leaving you this open lane when you come around as the zombies start to file in down the side of the building and or the side of the other bus. So you do have like a nice little path that can clear out. Now on higher waves, that path will get obstructed by more zombies as more zombies are filing in. You might have manglers that shoot them down by accident that get in your way. Unfortunately though, as the higher waves come on, the reason why this is number 4 is I do like this location, but it is too tight of a location. And you also do have the zombie trap on the right hand side, which is great. However, you can't actually mantle it or jump over it or anything like that, which can really screw up your wave because the street's already very thin. And then trying to get over there and get past that zombie trap makes it even thinner. The only other good thing about this is you do have access to the rooftop or the Wonder Fizz, but ultimately when you start getting piles and piles of manglers, this location does become very hectic and becomes very obsolete quickly due to the amount of special infected that do come through here. It kind of just breaks up the flow. If you have an absolute just god of a zombies player on your team, it's a perfect location. Coming out number 3 is going to be our gas station. This is actually where you spawn. This location is a wonderful location simply because it's so open. There's so many locations you can go to. It's vast, a lot of open space. There's also a lot of areas where manglers can shoot, but you can dodge behind either vehicles or get behind the Janus vehicles. There's 2 of those on this area. You have verticality with the gas station rooftop. And honestly, a lot of the corners here only have 1 extra zombie spawn behind you, so you actually have nice free range of being able to go to a corner, turn, shoot, and continue on your way through your path. I generally, when I'm training zombies, like to stick to the walls or close to the walls or far enough away to where if a zombie does come through the wall, I don't end up getting hit or get knocked out of my flow. However, higher waves, this area does start to fall apart a little bit because of the amount of zombies that start pouring out of all those spawn locations. I believe there are 17 zombie spawn locations. However, if you want to kind of counteract that, very simple. You just throw a zombie trap up and you can kill pretty much everything that comes your way minus the dogs. This is also the location of the HVT, so if you're doing Easter egg stuff, it's pretty nice to be there. Coming in at number 2, my favorite location where I train mostly is going to be on the rooftop of the bank. There are going to be 6 different zombie spawns, 1 not shown here on the map. We do have 1 behind where the weapon upgrade system is. You have 2 on the left wall, you have 1 in the back corner, 1 on the wall on the other side, and then you also have the window. What I like about this is a complicated train location simply because it's so small of an area and you can get a lot of zombies up here, including special infected manglers and the abominations. However, there's a lot of little like nuances to this part of the map where you're able to jump on these glass window panes. You're able to jump up on the little like air conditioning vent that's right there and really utilize a lot of this verticality to kind of like throw zombies off their pathing a little bit to give you some breathing room. It's also good to use these glass window panes to stop manglers from shooting you. However, if you are going to train on the roof, I always recommend going down the left-hand side of the little outlook building first and down this way. If you switch this train up and go the opposite direction of which you see me running, you run the risk of getting stuck on the zipline sandbag, which will kill many players. It's a mistake a lot of them make. I always try to get to the back left corner of the roof and work my way up, turn, and shoot into the massive zombies, and then work around. This also frees up the ammo crate, but what I really like about this location is you have the ammo crate, the weapon upgrade, and you also have the Wonder Fizz at wave 25. And on top of that, you have 4 easy escapes off the roof. You can either go to the zip line, there's 3 zip lines and then a rappel rope, which is super nice. And then last but not least is the best, in my opinion, the best loop in the game is going to be the large street, or the main street, if you will, West Main Street. This street is super wide open, tons of locations to run around. The only downside really is the fact that you just have a lot of zombie spawns, but if you can kind of work methodically and slowly around the outer edges and get all the zombies to spawn in first, you'll be able to keep everything behind you. The only real big issue besides the zombie spawns I see on here is like little tiny things that people get stuck on. There's a lot of like little thin trees, there's sandbags, there's lamp posts, and unfortunately if you kind of get stuck in between them, it's very difficult to get out once you kind of get stuck. Another big drawback to this area is actually by the church steps going up to the church. A lot of people backpedal into that and they get stuck because you can't jump over it from the front. So you have to go around if you get stuck by zombies, unfortunate. I also want to just let you guys know, I did all of these loops with no perks at all to show that they are viable, and as long as you know the routes you're taking and get comfortable in the familiarity with these loops, you can do really well without perks at all. Perks obviously help and they can make other loops easier. I just wanted to show off that, well, I didn't want to show off, but I wanted to show that you can do this up to about wave 30 without perks and still be very successful in all of these locations. Also, honorable mention here, don't loop in the church unless you're like trying to showboat to your friends or say you did it, or you're just trying to get better for the end game Easter egg challenge. You shouldn't be in here. It's a death trap. That's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like, and if you want to see more, like this video, hit subscribe, and I'll drop my tips for Terminus.